when your children get married, you do not have the moral, ethical right to hold on to their stuff. Period. When they reach adulthood, you do not have the moral, ethical right to hold on to their stuff. And so, example in our house would be Denise comes home from college and she sets up her own household within 3 months, moves into an apartment with some roommates, eventually starts dating a guy, gets married. But when they're engaged, I look down and realize there's a file here with mutual funds with her name on it. There's the health insurance is still running through us, which is stupid. This is like a grown woman.
Right.
And she needs to pay her own light bill. She needs to check the date on her milk carton by herself. And her mama don't need to do it.
Yeah.
And her dad doesn't need to hold her hand because he looks at her husband as a little boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, folk. You don't have that option. And when you do continue your helicopter parenting into their 20s, you damage the relationship with them potentially for the rest of your lives. And you stunt their emotional growth because they're still freaking little baby children because you didn't give them any grown-up stuff to do.
Yeah.
God, that pisses me off. Set them free. The Bible says to leave and cleave. So you leave your mama and take your stuff with you.
You know what I heard in that call too, though? I wish so bad she had called because I heard in his voice he didn't want to talk to him. He wasn't supposed to anyway, but even if he was, he didn't want to.
He was bowed up. He was ready to talk to him.
Yeah, but it was like this nervousness. Like you could hear something like, well, I don't know.
He started out with they were nice people, and I started laughing because I knew he was lying.
We both did because we were like, but. We were waiting for the but.
Where's the but? Because the great canceler in a sentence. Everything that comes before the word but means that those people are butts.
So then, but I wish we could have talked to her because I got the sense that she was not the type that wanted to talk to them, didn't want to talk to them.
She's been used to daddy taking care of her.
I know. And here's the thing. So then
Grow up, girl.
Speak to that person. Speak to the timid, the child, the adult child that's scared to talk to their parents. Give them some help here.
It is your job as a 20, what was she? He said he was 24. So
yeah, I think so.
She's 23, 25 probably, give or take. I mean, be a grown up. Come on. Put your big girl pants on. And because the sooner you do that, one of the most rich times of our lives in our personal family is the current time where I have adult-to-adult relationships with my children, including my sons-in-law and my daughter-in-law. Mm-hmm. And I thoroughly enjoy them as adults. Mm-hmm. But that means that I have to, Rachel and I have, I don't cross boundaries with her just like I don't with you. Mm-hmm. And we're not kin.
Right.
We've been friends a long time. We've been on our team a long time. We've got a good relationship, but there's things I can't tell you to do. It's not my right. Yeah. And vice versa, by the way, you know? And so, right. And the same thing's true with Rachel, true. And so, we can talk about stuff. We can argue about things. We can discuss politics. We can talk about life or religion or doctrine or whatever else. But that's just on a friend-to-friend level, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's the most rich time. It's some of our Ramsey dinners, because we're all loud and gregarious and fun people, are hilarious now. But it's like it's like a friend group having dinner.
Right.
Not, Dad is holding court, and you all are going to now listen to me.
Right.
They quit doing that a while back, I'll just tell you.
What do you think's going on in the dad in that scenario that wants to hold on to it? Does he still see him as a kid?
Yeah,
he likes the power control.
That's
maybe
who I'm
both?
Talking to is him. Because he pisses me off.
Mm.
Because he's being a twerp. Mm. He's trying to hold on to the past, and, you walked her down the aisle, you placed her hand in his hand. Dude, you just gave her away. That's what they call that.
All right. What if she's not married?
Well,
she's 25 though.
Well, same thing, except there's not a hand. There's not a leaving and cleaving.
Well, I just want to clarify.
Not a marital relationship, but they're still adults. And so what you're doing is you're treating your 25-year-old like she's 13, and guess what? She's going to function like she's 13, and then the rest of us in society have to put up with this entitled little twit. Don't you think?
Yes.
You have people that are 5 years younger than you that you run into that are not functioning at that age, emotionally.
Well, and it's an unhealthy dynamic on both sides, because you have the let's use the daughter in this scenario. It could be a son, either way, but the adult child that will not stand up to mom or dad or speak up to mom or dad or say, I'm a grown up, these are my XYZ funds, policies, whatever. And then you have the dad or the mom, whoever, that is dominant, controlling. They like having the power. They like being the big deal in the family. And so it becomes this dynamic that's unhealthy on both sides. They both have a responsibility in it, is what I'm saying.
It is emotionally hard, admittedly, when your kids reach the point that you're no longer allowed to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
I used to could just tell you to do stuff, and you freaking had to do it, And now I can't do that. Now I have to convince you or persuade you like I would one of my buddies. I've got to talk you into this is good for you. Here's why I think this, and depending on how strong I feel about it, but I may not even bring it up at all. But this is just reasonable relationship boundaries. And so, but some parents they have a real problem with this boundary of saying out loud, okay, this is like a grown butt human here. I can no longer tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't be telling them what to do. It shouldn't be effective. Someone should stop you from doing it, whether it's the person you're doing it to, yourself, your pastor ought to look at you and go, hello, somebody ought to give you a little wake-up call, ring the bell for you and go, you have now moved into a new phase. You no longer can boss them around. And because the interfering mother-in-law, when the kid's 32 and she still rolls her eyes with the way the chicken pot pie is made, oh, my God, that's a classic stereotype.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't get to roll your eyes anymore.
Yeah.
You have to be polite and stuff.
Right.
Oh, my God. You wouldn't do that at your friend's house.
Right.
Or if you would, you wouldn't have any friends.
Yeah.
And yet you still think you can get away with it with those that you love the most and they're the closest to you.
Yeah.
And it does go into the financial, because when you don't put the weight of the decision making on the grown child, they do not develop the strength to make the decisions. You have to let them feel the weight of that rent on their back.
And I imagine
the weight of the grocery shopping. And you go, oh, my God, look what bread just did.
Yeah. I imagine it has an effect on the marriage, too. For those that are married, then it's stripping them of some of the dignity of figuring it out as a couple, of communicating as a couple, because mom and dad are still controlling everything, still having a say, still carrying the weight. It's like, no, like as a couple.
You have a fight and you run to your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told Rachel and Denise in particular, I said, when you have a fight, and if you want to call over here and talk to us about it, you better bring them. Because otherwise I'm going to point you right back at him and go, hey, I already told him you're now his problem.
You did say that.
I did exactly say that.
Did.
You know I said that.
I do.
This is The Ramsey Show.